Joining us now on the Notre Dame Day Hotline is someone whose last name you may recognize, but who you may not realize is the creative force behind some of our favorite television shows, including the hit show New Girl. She's also worked on such popular shows such as Saturday Night Live, Mad TV, coupling the OC and Heroes, to name a few. My pleasure to welcome Notre Dame alumna JJ Philbin to our broadcast. Hello, JJ. We have to get this out of the way as the daughter of Mr. Notre Dame himself, Regis Philbin. Was there ever a choice about where you would go to college?
You know, I have to say there was. My dad was really cool about it. In retrospect, like at the time I felt like he was pressuring me, but now I realize that he was actually really, he was like, go check it out. And if you like it, you'll go. And if you don't, no big deal. And so he sort of played it cool, which was a really smart strategy, because I went up for the weekend not really sure what to expect, and I just fell in love with it immediately. I just remember the moment of driving onto the campus and going like, oh yeah, this is 100% where I want to be.
And it's hard not to when you see that golden dome shining at you.
Yes, exactly. I think my moment actually was at the log cabin. I remember it so clearly, and I totally got it. Everything that my dad had been saying to me about the school for all those years, I was kind of conditioned to resist it, just because, when you hear about how amazing some place is for so long. And I had been there once before, but it was a football weekend and it was really, really crowded, and I didn't really get it in a real way. But then when I got there, I was like, oh, he's completely right, and all I want to do is come here. So,
I hear you.
So then he got to sit back and watch as I fell in love with the place. And so his job was very easy. He just sat back and let Notre Dame work its magic on me.
And I'm sure he loved it once you were here.
Oh, he loved it. Yeah, it was so much fun for him, and he still takes me back to his dorms. Like, we went to his room in Zom when I was there in September, which was so yeah, it's still something that is so special between me and him, and we talk about it all the time, and I'm so grateful that I got to have my time there, and I'm so jealous that you guys are there now.
Yes, next year you got to come out here.
I know. I was there. I was actually just there in September for which game was it? It was the Duke game, and it was a rough game. But am I remembering the right game? But it was so fun. I hadn't been to the campus in 15 years, and I couldn't believe how much it had changed. So
lots of new buildings. Every time you look, there's a new one up.
Oh my gosh, it was crazy.
JJ, let's talk about you, because you're the writer and producer of some of our favorite TV programs. What is your process like?
In writing an episode of television?
Sure.
It depends. Like on these shows that I've written for. I mean, sometimes I write my own pilots, and that's its own process of, really kind of coming up with an idea and developing it, and, fleshing it out and coming up with characters and storylines. And then you take those to networks, like Fox or ABC, and you kind of shop it. You say, like, here's what I'm thinking, and you hope that they pay you to write a script. So, and then, you kind of have to keep jumping through the next hurdle of, they read your script, they like it, they may, choose to shoot it, and then you have to see if they'll get it, if it can get on the fall schedule or just on television. So that's one element of it. And then the other is when you're on a show like New Girl, you're on a team of writers of, 10 to 15 people, and it's really fun, especially when you're working on a comedy. You're sitting around a big table with a lot of funny people, and you're just talking about the characters, and you spend maybe the first couple of weeks of the year just talking about big ideas and directions that you'd want the characters to go, and then you start getting more and more specific, and you will get assigned an episode. And once you get assigned that episode, you are kind of the captain of the room, and you help navigate where the story goes, and you use that whole brain power in the room with you to come up with the story. Once the story is figured out, you go home and you write a script. And then you bring it back about a week later, and everybody, nicely tears it apart. But it's their job to tear it apart and to figure out where the flaws are and how to make it better and how to make it funnier. And that just keeps on going until it's, you never stop working on it until the cameras roll. And then at that point, you're down on the set and you're working with the actors and you're saying, here's what we were going for with this joke or that joke, that sort of thing. And then the whole process starts again. So it's you really kind of are, you get to take an episode from a germ of an idea all the way to the finished product in the editing room. And it's really, sometimes it can be a nightmare, but it's really cool and really satisfying when it airs.
Well, thank you so much, JJ, for giving us that insight. I know there are so many students here at Notre Dame, especially in the FTT department, who want to be writers. So getting some insight on that is I'm sure, so helpful to them.
Oh, nice.
And we want to thank you again for joining us, and also say hello to your dad for us.
Oh, we will.
Such
I will.
a Notre Dame personality, and really the reason I'm in TV is the Regis and Kathy Lee show I watched growing up. So we loved having you on this show. Thank you so much, JJ.
Thank you, guys. Have fun.